Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and I want to thank XRP Llama for doing this very fun GIF for me. I will find ways to use it for sure. And thanks to everybody who sent kind words of concern as the typhoon passed. It has now since moved out onto the ocean, and there's a lot of cleanup to do in all of this area because of the flooding. So I am still, watching how people are so resilient to the disasters that occur in this nation. It's just unbelievable. The landslides, the earthquakes, the tsunamis. We had an earthquake last night in the middle of the typhoon, a 5.7 earthquake. Mother Nature is very cruel to this country. All right, I'm going to make a correction here. I was in a hurry to watch the news last night with what was going on in the typhoon, and I just recorded my video and uploaded it without reviewing it, and I realized that I had said that Ripple gave an investment of 750 million. No, I was wrong. It's 750,000. I'm sorry. I don't know why. The word millions just came out of my mouth. And this is the cryptocurrency wallet company that's going to implement XRP. It hasn't been done yet. The announcement was just made. So they will do it, and it will incorporate XRP for you to buy and store these assets in a very I think a low-cost way. It's coming. So if you just hang in there, the app will have XRP incorporated soon, I'm sure. I got a lot of emails that, hey, I downloaded the app, but there's no XRP. Well, it's coming. This announcement was just announced. Okay, so let me just share with you some interesting news. This is interesting. The Center for Advanced Research in Finance, which is often called CARF, and they support cutting-edge theoretical and empirical research by hosting scholars from around the world. And it's a world-class global center for financial papers, workshops, and international conferences. It's member-based driven. Professors and researchers alike are basically how it is supported. And then if I tell you that there is somebody from Ripple that is going to speak, who would you think that would be? It's going to take place here at the University of Tokyo, which is absolutely for sure within the top 5 universities in Japan. Some would argue that it's number 1, but I think Keio and Waseda and Kyoto University, there are some really good universities here, but absolutely for sure it is in the top 5. And this person from Ripple who is going to speak is going to also be in the history books with people like the Scottish-born senior scholar and professor of economics at Princeton, Angus Deaton. He was somebody who was awarded the Nobel Prize for Economic Sciences back in 2015. So have you guessed? Yeah, it's David Schwartz. And David is going to be accompanied by Emi. I'm sure Emi's going to do a fantastic job translating for him. I don't doubt that he will speak in English and Emi's going to translate. I'm sure make a great team. And I don't know if we'll be able to hear about it. Unfortunately, I can't go. I'm not part of this membership of scholars, and that is just not my world. I wish it was, but it's not. And yeah, we'll have to ask Emi and David how it goes. He's going to talk about Ripple's blockchain technology and global payments transformation. Yep, so that's Monday the 11th. That's the day after the Tokyo meetup. So there is just no rest for David and Emi at all. They are super, super busy. It's going to be in the late afternoon, evening hours. Yeah, I hope we get some feedback how this went. All right, I am going to share something that just will show you how far we have come as an industry in a very short period of time. It sometimes feels like a long time because it's in a building process. But this is a Bloomberg interview with Matthew Leasing. It was sent to me by early to the party on the backside of DM. I was chatting with him on Twitter, and It's really kind of funny because it's not aging well at all. Yeah, even though this is way before XRP was even launched, there were just so many people who couldn't get their head around why banks would use the digital asset XRP. And maybe there are still some people who can't get their head around that. So the purpose of this video is to show you a couple of examples of why they would. The first one I'm going to show you is a VP of Engineering position that was posted on August 29th, just a little while ago. And they describe Ripple is solving a problem, right? They are connecting banks, payment providers, corporates, and digital asset exchanges via RippleNet to provide that one frictionless experience to send money globally, okay? So I think most of us have heard that 100 different ways before, but look at this. This position is going to lead six engineering teams. That is growing. And that is what currently makes up RippleNet. So there is also a very compelling piece of work that was published this year, and it's by Martin Thomas. Martin is the Director Head of Finance Treasury Management at KPMG in Switzerland. Smart guy. He has his master's in Chinese. Now, KPMG, they do auditing for companies. They provide tax and legal advice. They serve these companies around the globe. They're operating in 153 countries, and they have 207,000 employees. So what I want to show you is this right here, the digitization in Treasury. Look, a Ripple is going through Treasury. So in this piece of work, they analyze the relevance of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology for corporate treasury departments, as well as their possible influence on the established money system. And as they had already mentioned before, that the market for cryptocurrencies and the underlying technologies is developing at the speed of lightning. Okay, so corporate treasury departments, remember, every bank has one, and they ensure that the bank has enough capital to operate. Well, it's not a surprise. We know SWIFT has dominated this space of cross-border payments for the past 40 years, and it has its ancient network as it is brought to our attention, and we know, but it's the old correspondent banking, and this business model is just problematic. It is not efficient for the treasurers, and it causes problems in their daily business, not to mention the 6% error rate. Now, if you are a little foggy as to how Ripple works with the digital asset XRP, there are 5 paragraphs in this piece of work that is written in very good simplistic language, and I highly advise you to read it, because I'm not going to cover that in this video, but I do want to cover the important highlights. So the digital assets, okay, shrink the spreads and risk premiums of the traded fiat. And how significant and relevant is all this technology for corporate treasury departments? The advantages are obvious, he writes. 1, it lowers cost. 2, it reduces financial intermediaries. 3, the creation of more marketplaces. Now, this is something we don't talk much about, but in a very competitive environment where banks are really looking at all the ways possible to grow their business, we really haven't talked a lot that the use of these corridors and technology is going to open up more marketplaces for these banks. This is very, very important. Also, number 4, has the settlement risk eliminated. Number 5, the treasury activities like buying and selling fiat and hedging it is all reduced. So is it time? Is it ready? Is it ripe to jump on the bandwagon? That is the question. Well, the solution is growing in leaps and bounds, and it is regulators and standard setters that have to get in on this as fast as possible for clarification. It's crystal clear how far we've come since that interview by Bloomberg in January 2018. Do you think you would have found this kind of narrative that is so sure of the benefits of cryptocurrency and blockchain in the money system? I don't think so. So it is really just catching on, as the Ripple executives had said. All right, a few hours ago, was frankly startled. An unexpected and marvelous disclosure came from arguably the most trusted source and loved content creator, Hodor, today, with his announcement that he will conclude his blog and come forth with his real identity, continuing to be active in the community in new ways. Wow, I'm just thrilled for him, and I can't wait to see his new chapter in life. So he is not leaving the XRP community. He will be contributing using his real identity, and he is going to get more into developing applications. I just can't wait to see this, Hodor. I just really, please, let's stay in touch. I just so respect you. For everybody who is curious, I'm going to put his blog that talks about it in detail in the description below. Okay, CoinDesk on tap, Tokyo. CoinDesk is here tomorrow night. I'm going to join them. I'm going to do a story on this. I'm going to bring it to the OTC channel. So just to keep in mind, I am really getting ready to do some travel out of Japan. So this will probably, I don't know, be my last video before I take off. I'm not really sure. I'll try to get one more video in before I actually get on that plane. But there will be a story on the OTC channel, which I'm a contributor of. And if you don't have a link to that, I'll provide that link too as well. I can't wait to meet up with the people in the blockchain community here in Tokyo and meet the people at CoinDesk also. And for those of you who can go to Los Angeles in May, I'm going to speak at the DLTconLA, and I think it's going to be very fun. It's got a lot of really good people behind this in making it happen. So I'll give you a lot more information as it gets closer to the date, but Saturday, May 16th from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., they're going to be at the Renaissance in Long Beach. It's a very nice hotel right there on the ocean side, and we're going to have a lot of fun, I'm sure. There's a lot of surprises planned, and I'm not sure of the speaking time for me as of yet, but if you can't come, I'll definitely give you a recap. If you can come, then I'm going to have a special competition for a big care package from Japan. Okay, everybody, I'm jumping to the fluff. So we have the game. Oh my gosh, 53 minutes and 4 seconds. I really can't wait for this Japan-Scotland game. I'm just so excited for it. And yeah, I need to get this uploaded and get myself all ready to watch this, because it's going to be very, very exciting. I want to tell you of the 3 best places to catch soccer, football, and rugby and events, and it's at the British pubs. And yeah, no matter where you go in this world, there's a British pub, right? Well, the British pubs in Tokyo are very fun and they are lively. Here is an example of the hub, and they're watching some rugby here. But they're full of expats, and the expat community in Tokyo is very interesting, because everybody has such an interesting story as to what brought them here. And it's a good place if you're wanting a little bit of a piece of Western culture in a world that is very different from ours in the West. Anyway, I do have fun at visiting some of these pubs. So the hub, HUB, is one of them. There's 25 of them in the Tokyo area, and they're all good. So if you see the hub and you feel like that kind of entertainment, definitely go into the hub. The other one is in Shimbashi, and this is called To the Moon, Man in the Moon. I know a lot of people that go to this one, but this is not one that I frequent. But this is one that I do frequent, and it's the Hobgoblin. And it's, I'm going to share a little something with you that you probably don't know. I do some stand-up comedy in Tokyo, believe it or not. And I'm in the works right now, working with another woman, and I've been usually doing it alone, single stand-up, but I'm working with a friend of mine who's from the UK, and she and I are going to be a manzai. That's the word used in Japan for two comedians who stand up together. So we have some material in a manzai format, and I think if you are lucky, you might be able to catch me at the Hobgoblin. Okay, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.